we have two members of our steering committee who are here tonight who have testified and told their family stories in the last couple weeks. We spend a lot of time trying to get individual constituents of legislators to come forward and tell how the healthcare crisis is impacting them. How useful is that for legislators to hear? Does it really make an impact?
Let me just say,
With one word.
yes,
Yes.
it's a huge impact. I think so often public hearings go a certain way. You know, you hear from the lobbyist for this company or that interest group, and then you'll occasionally hear from a legislator, and then it'll be back to another lobbyist and whatever. And the stories are all very impersonal, and they talk about global numbers and how you can't do this or you can't do that. And it makes a big difference when somebody takes the time out of their personal lives or takes time off from work to come and tell their story in 3 minutes, which is about as much as we give them unless we ask them questions, which we tried to do. And to cut through that with the impact of what these things mean on the lives of average, ordinary, working class, middle class families. So to get to your point, Paul, I think it helps if the press is watching or listening to give them a hook into the story. So it's very important from my perspective.
If we hear the story, then, you know, the process works and we do something about it.
I sat at the insurance committee the other day, and I think the woman's probably in this room that got up and said she didn't know how to speak publicly, and gave one of the best public testimonies I've ever heard in my life about oral drugs for cancer. And I'd ask you not only to use that in front of people, but also to have them contact directly their own state rep or their own state senator besides the public hearing if it's not. Because I've got to tell you, as a former state rep, you get so many phone calls from your own people. You make sure that you're at that public hearing if your constituent is going to be there, so that that legislature, if they're not sitting on those committees, will still hear what's going on, which will help the jobs of the chairman of these committees to get the word out. So I think it's a great thing to have people come out and talk and contact people.
Connecticut apparently is one of not very many remaining states in the country that allows unlimited access to its public hearing process, something of which I have always been and hope to always be very proud. When we put a 3-minute limit on that, that basically is an acknowledgement that there may be a great number of people who want to speak. And we had an instance in my committee, the Public Health Committee, just last year, when a bill that I think it's fair to say just about everybody in the committee really didn't think of as being a particularly overwhelming need or something that was a very big deal in Connecticut. And as that hearing, and we take our public testimony by bill, so it all came together from the public on this particular issue, as most committees do that. It absolutely changed the opinion and the commitment of I think virtually, if not every legislator on that committee that was there listening that day.